What do you think is more important in your coaching program? The actual program itself or the accountability attached to
the accountability?
100%.
100%.
Yeah. I already knew the answer to that.
100%.
But, I think when we, you and I talk about this a lot, and I think it's the one thing that separates what we do from everybody else is like the daily check-in.
100%.
The constant communication and stuff like that. But what do you think really creates that change with that level of accountability?
Well, this is easy. No one does it. Right? So everyone is doing the same thing and they want to know why they don't get results. You can get a meal plan anywhere. You can stick to a meal plan or do any meal plan. It's irrelevant. If you eat less than you are currently, you're going to lose weight. The question is, are you going to do it enjoyably?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. Are you going to do it with foods that you enjoy? Are you going to be able to take what we give you and when you no longer work with us, still be successful? That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing isn't the weight loss journey. It's the restructuring of the mind. It's the restructuring of seeing food is not a tool for happiness, right? It's fuel. That's all it is. And if you see the text today that one of our clients, Dave, for his nacho party, I said, as soon as you see food as fuel and not as, oh, I can't have that, it's no longer difficult. He's a big Harley guy, right? And I said, would you put sand in your Harley? And he laughed. No, why would I do that? Well, then why would you eat the junk? That's the biggest thing. So it's restructuring how the client looks at food, how the client feels about themselves when they see any type of food, and can it be sustainable when we're no longer working with them? And can they help family members or friends somewhat the same way in which we did on the accountability? But that's not out in the industry because people don't care. That's why we don't have gazillions of clients, because we don't want gazillions of clients, because we can't care more than they care.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
It's funny that, when we decided to start doing it this way, it was, at first you're like, well, how do you pull that off? We do it with ease. One of the biggest things for me, and you and I are kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum, but the same. But for me, I understand, especially when you're morbidly obese, as food as an addiction. And somebody who has gone through several layers of addiction, when I started my sobriety, lifestyle, it was important for me to reach out to my sponsor every single day. And that level of accountability is what helped set the stage for my sobriety.
100%.
As food is an addiction, the accountability is the same.
100%.
And I think I had this conversation with another coach that I fully appreciate, and I love his messaging, and I love the way he does things, but he does things quite a bit softer than you and I. And he is more about the body positivity and eat what you love and be a foodie and all of that stuff. And I think I expressed this to him on the podcast. I said, I think it's dangerous.
100%.
I think it's dangerous to somebody who has a food addiction. What do you think?
I think this is the difference. We're both over 6'2" and we're both over 240 pounds. You get what you get. You got two in-shape guys that actually care about you. That's it. That's the end of story. That's our business. The business is we get the people because of your transformation. We get the results based upon my knowledge, right? And if they're having a problem mentally with what's going on, that's why you take care of them and you reset their mind, right? On the mental side, that's what you do, the mindset. When it comes to the food part, I'm able to take your now fixed mind and show them the different avenue on how food is going to be able to help them, as opposed to a crutch in a stressful situation, or how to better their lives in a more positive way. But being bigger and stronger also has a more dominating presence. And one thing that I have learned is if they do mess up, they're very hesitant to call us.
That's true.
And that's accountability.
That is accountability. One of the most famous marketing sayings is, I'm not only the president of Hair Clubs for Men, I'm also a client. And I think one big differentiator is that my entire transformation wasn't done by us, right? I had other coaches along the way, but my most drastic level up in my transformation was done by our programming, your nutrition, the guidance, the discipline, the accountability, and everything. And for anybody that's watching this, that's like, oh man, there's so many coaches out there, and there's what do I do? And maybe you need more accountability. You do. Understand that as your coach, I practice what I fucking preach. Every single morning, you get a text with my weight.
And if I don't get the text, you get a text.
Yes.
What is your weight?
And I think that's important to understand, that like you have two guys that totally practice what they preach. And this isn't about just gassing us up, but we've been meaning to do this show, and we've been meaning to put this out there because we see it all the time. Jonathan and I run a massive community of online coaches. Jonathan's also part of that community as well. So we see it all the time, and we have great coaches, and we have people that are just in the infant stages of their coaching business, and people who have been doing it for a very long time. And we want people to understand how we can lead by example, how we can show people how to run these businesses, and not only run these businesses, but perform in these businesses, and give people what they actually deserve. And accountability is one of the most important things. Right now, we see a massive fad of people pushing drugs. And when I say drugs, I mean everything: peptides, HRT, TRT, and things like that. And that is not what is actually causing these massive transformations. It's a piece, but it's not what really matters.
Well, they're starving people, number one.
We're finding that out.
And giving drugs.
I want to touch on that in a minute here, but yes, yeah.
They starve people, they give them drugs, and they say, you're going to look like this in 90 days. And they may. But what do you look like at 180 days when it all comes back? Right? And so what we do is, well, first off, you do this for a living, the coaching. I own a nutrition company, and I work there 7 days a week. So I'm talking to people every single day. So because of that, the amount of people that we both see is massive. Huge. On a daily basis.
Huge.
So you're seeing different things, especially me. I'm seeing different people who have an ailment that maybe another coach doesn't know how to do it. Like my specialty is dealing with people to get them off medicine. It's what we've done. Doctors are going, well, what drugs? None. How many clients have we had that their doctor goes, I don't know what you're doing?
Scratching their head.
But you're off. You don't need the medication anymore.
100%.
Right? And they go, well, what drug are you? None. Nutrition. And nutrition is key. And I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole on government trying to make you sick and all that, but it is what it is. You can control what you put in your mouth. End of story. There's no one else that's forcing you to eat it. There's no one else that's forcing you to go for a walk, because that's really all you need. You do it for yourself. And I think what a lot of the coaches do or don't do, or why we're so good at what we do, is we're able to transform your mind to get you to where you can actually do this. We probably get more fired up than they do at first, right? Which scares them, which is great. But we're able to live their life with them because it's 7 days, 24/7. Because there's two of us, they're going to get a text from either one of us multiple times a day. It's something, the attention to detail that I've been doing this for 30 years, it doesn't exist. Right? And it doesn't exist for what we actually charge, because we've talked many times, we need to charge more because we are way more invested than the actual client is. Right? And because of that, we basically run a concierge transformation service, because I don't want 100 clients at the same time. I can't do that. I can't give them the attention. And they deserve the attention.
They do.
Because they're trusting us with their lives. Their weight loss is secondary. This is their lives. People have had kids because they couldn't beforehand, because now their fertility has changed.
Right.
Right? So we're changing lives. We're creating families by what we do.
100%.
That you can't buy that on a 1-800 number.
No.
That's not on the back of a magazine. Right? That's not in an ad. That's something you find in a dark underground secret society, right? Remember the old Skulls movie?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have access to that, which is why not a lot of people have access to what we do, because they have to go through you.
Mm-hmm.
They can't go through me to get it. They have to go through you.
I've even been prefacing that when I talk to people that, you know, I'm like, you got to realize like sometimes this level of attention turns people away.
100%.
They can't handle that
Because they don't want it bad enough. That's the difference.
Mm.
If we want it more than you, we'll shut off the program. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have.
Right?
We've done it.
We don't really offer 1 month packages because that doesn't exist. Right? We've made some exceptions, but that exception starts at 8 months.
Right.
And a year is basically what we want, right? And really should have, because are you going to fall off the wagon in a year? 100% you are. Something's going to happen, which is what they do with you on the mindset. They're going to lose their mind. They're going to crush whatever. They're going to put on 20 pounds in a weekend because they're in, an inflammatory mess. But then we get them back, right? We bring them back mentally. We get them back emotionally. What did you do? Why did you do it? That's what you do. That's your specialty, right? Because that's what you did on your transformation.
Let me just stop right there, because for people to understand, and I'm going to get a little vulnerable right now, because if you guys understand that 2025 for me, I've been through a lot. And a lot of things that I went through that most men would have fallen off the wagon, and it would have been probably understandable.
100%.
But because I had what I had, and because I live my program that I coach other people through, who noticed?
Nobody. Nobody. No.
Divorce, dissolving a business relationship in another business.
And you thrived.
And I thrived through it.
Physically,
mentally, all of it.
Yeah. Into the best shape you ever had.
And yes, by far. You guys got to realize that like it's not a matter of us just saying these things. We have the people when we discuss things like what we were talking about with somebody, one of our greatest transformations, Brandon Fall. Mm-hmm. For him to be off all medication, he's about to get 360 tummy tuck, one of many, because he's lost over
262 pounds.
Yeah,
naturally, no drugs,
nothing,
exercise and nutrition. And hard work. That's it. One of the things that's cool though is you're 39, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm 52. 2 little kids, married, don't sleep, work 7 days a week. What's your excuse?
Me?
No.
Yeah.
Your client.
Oh, yeah.
What's your excuse? So the families we got taken care of, right? Single guys, your age, don't know what they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. Want to go in a coaching path or want to go in some direction that you can. We have the entire gambit covered. So the excuses don't exist in my world.
Remember that conversation we had with one of our guys who was a service manager?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh man, what do you say?
I don't have time."
Yeah, he said,
"We have to go to lunch."
Yeah, we got to go to lunch. We got to do these things. I said, "Bullshit." I said, "I know exactly what the back of your shop looks like." Mm-hmm. I know that there's a
yellow microwave.
There's a yellow microwave on top of a mini fridge that hasn't been cleaned in 2 months. Yeah. And he's like, "Fuck. Yeah. Have you been in my shop?"
But how many excuses did he give?
Yeah.
And is he still in the program?
Nope.
He quit.
Yep.
No, we didn't. No, he quit.
Yeah.
We let him go because he quit. Mm-hmm. End of story. We gave him an opportunity of a lifetime and he quit. I don't care. Because there's someone else out there, which we've been proven to see, that wants the help. Everyone who has worked with us. Let me clarify this. 100% of the people who we have worked with have had success. Yes or no?
100%.
Massive success.
Huge.
And consistently continue without our paid services, consistently continuing to excel, but do we still talk to them weekly? Yeah. 100% for free because they're part of the community, right? But that's a very small community. And I want to keep it that small community because what you get in that community does not exist.
No.
You can't preach it enough. It doesn't exist out there. right? Now, my nutrition knowledge are the people that know more. 100% they know more.
I don't know.
Right? Well, some of the people that do certain things, right? I'll say the one guy I really like is Mike Dolce, right? And Mike Dolce and I are very similar with using whole foods and things of that nature. But here's a guy who has worked with the best of the best in combat MMA and is 100% successful getting his clients to the weigh-in, and they've all weighed in successfully. 100%. Right? That's why he's the best in what he does in combat mixed martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
We are 100% in getting the results that our clients want when they do the program.
Mm-hmm. There's no question.
It's undeniable. And what is that with? That's with the expertise that we give them with nutrition. It's the expertise we give them with fixing their mindset. Because normally, once they start with us, they don't even see me for at least 2 to 3 weeks because you're fixing their head, right? And then we get on a conference call and I go over what the nutrition is going to be like based upon the foods in which they like, based upon the questionnaire in which they filled out. So we're eliminating all their excuses out the gate. We're getting the full medications that they're on, any type of illness that they have, any type of medical anything. That's all played into a role because
not to mention their blood work and
everything. We run blood, we do the whole bit, right? That doesn't exist. And it doesn't exist for what we charge.
Right.
Because we're way, way underpaid for the success in which we have. But it's not so much, money is not everything. We don't do it for the money aspect. We have to because our time is valuable.
Right.
But we're not doing it for the money. We're doing it because that life that we saved, right, is more rewarding truly than what they're paying us.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me another coach that has that type of care in this type of industry, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. How many times, what time do you wake up in the morning?
You know better than me now. 4.
Okay. Do you get a text almost immediately back when you text me?
Mm-hmm.
We don't sleep.
No.
You legitimately have 24/7 access to what we do. Not a setter, not a computer, not someone hired by the person doing things to respond. It's either me or it's you. And if you're out of town, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't answer the text. I got it. We know that. But the care doesn't stop.
Right.
That doesn't exist. Show me where it exists. The problem is I've been doing this for so long and been in the industry for so long, as I know a lot of the people that do coaching. And I know what they do behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what they preach.
No. That's I think the biggest thing. And honestly though, it shows in the success of the coach. Right? Like we have a flawless reputation. What's so funny is, I've had numerous situations just, even in my girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
we announced that we were dating, and people that have worked with me or whatever shot her a DM and was like, that's a great dude, right? Like great reputation. She kept saying that. And like people that we onboard and people that we talk to, they're constantly getting, as a matter of fact, I was with Brad Lee. And I was out to dinner with him and some other guys that were at an event in Vegas. And he did a storyline thing with me. And he goes, I got to tell you, Justin, he goes, your reputation is there. He said, a lot of times I get a lot of people that are like, fuck that guy when I post them in my storyline. He goes, I have overwhelming amount of people texting me saying, dude, that dude has a great reputation.
Because it's not fake.
It's not.
You don't do it for the camera.
Talk about
whether the camera's on or the camera's off.
It's always the same.
It's always the same.
I do the same thing every single day.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well, it works.
I hate social media. I'm not on social media. My business is on social media, and I do my accountability posts leaving the gym every day because I preach consistency. Ain't that right, Freddie? I preach it. That's what I do. Consistency. Consistency is key. Mm-hmm. You can have the best program, but if you're not consistent, it's not going to work, right? And if you got overweight or something happened, you didn't get overweight in 6 weeks.
Right.
It was years.
Of consistency.
of consistently treating your body terrible.
Yeah.
So you can't expect in 6 to 8 to 12 weeks, you're going to lose all that weight. But wait a minute. Our latest client we've had to look today, 10 weeks, and he's down 52 pounds, right? And he said his work has never been better. He's never been happier.
And he's eating more.
And he's eating way more than he used to. His wife's loving it, right? So, it's something to where we're reprogramming or basically giving you hope that the body that you want, you can get.
And with adequate food, adequate
a
energy.
lot of food.
The thing is that, and I know this from being, over 100 pounds overweight, like when you're at that time when it's like, it's time to change and your first day in at the gym and you're looking in the mirror and you're gassed and you're like, fuck, this is heavy. This is going to be a lot. And those first few days of getting in the gym, even those first few months, it's like the mountain is so big in front of you. And that's where a lot of guys are like, what's the purpose?
Because we make it fun.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right. And for anybody watching this, that's like, fuck, I'm far gone. I've let this go way too far. And then it looks like that's just going to be this huge fucking hill to climb. You don't need to do it alone. And you shouldn't do it alone. And I lost my when I lost my first, 70 pounds, I did it alone. And I could have saved myself so much time because I lost all fat. I was a cardio bunny.
Yep.
I was starving myself. I was eating all the wrong foods. And then I went from being fat to skinny fat. It's like, how did I fucking end up here?
Well, then when we started doing nutrition, you were 271 pounds in shape.
Great shape, visible abs.
And you're like, can you get me peeled? I'm like 100. Yeah, I'll get you peeled. And you went from 271, still low body fat, to 237, shredded as can be, eating a ton of food.
More food than I was at.
Right? So we have success with you who's already in shape to put you to universal soldier shape, and someone who is morbidly obese. And we have several people that are scheduling surgery consults to remove the loose skin because they've kept it off for over 2 years. It's not, they're not in a rebound. They have to lose the skin because almost 400-pound person is now 160 pounds off of all medication. And that skin, unfortunately, the body's not going to absorb in.
That's pretty genetic though, huh? Because I didn't really have a problem with my skin.
100%. Well, genetics play a role in everything. Let's not get it twisted, right? I got friends that are major alcoholics, live off Taco Bell, and are shredded. Mm-hmm. It is what it is, right? Those are what we call genetic mutants. Mm-hmm. That's the lucky lottery. But you and I are not that.
No.
Right? We actually have to work for what we get.
Right.
But we teach you that as we go along. But, my mom was 5'2", my dad was 5'8", my older brother is 5'7", 130 pounds. I'm 6'2", 240, right? So where did that genetic come from, right?
Yeah.
But it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. We can do the best that we can to override your genetics to a certain point because people say, my parents were fat, my grandparents were fat, I'm fat, it's genetic. No, it's poor habits. Mm-hmm. Right? And if it's not poor habits, we have the blood work showing you're 100% correct, right? We have insulin sensitivity issues. We have thyroid issues. But we can fix a lot of those things. And if we can't fix them ourselves, I have the people who are specialists in the medical field that's what they specialize in. I have endocrinologists I send people to, right? So whether we can fix you or not on the medical side, we can definitely suggest places to go to where you can actually get it fixed. But I'll tell you, I've worked with hundreds of thousands of people in my career, and I think 2 actually had a genetic issue to where they needed help, right? And no matter how they ate and how they trained, their body wasn't going to do it. And it happens, people, there's morbidly obese people who could eat what they're supposed to eat. And for whatever reason, their body does not process it like it should. It is, and that's unfortunate, but that's not the common man.
Right.
And when people go, "Oh, I'm just," no, that's an excuse. And it drives me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, the amount of people that I've talked to, I don't think that I've ever really heard any valid medical excuse other than like being like physically injured, because we've almost always been able to, I mean, again, like we talk about Randon, like he had all cards stacked against him.
Yeah. Everything. His blood work looked like a slot machine, 777 everywhere. She should not be 700s in anything, maybe other than testosterone, right? Where you got cholesterol numbers, A1C numbers, insulin numbers through the roof. That's not, no, but we narrowed down what the issues were, and you tackle them day by day, week by week, month by month, stack the wins, show them the wins, because they don't see it. They're just miserable, right? Show them the wins, and you look back and you go, you just lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks, even though a majority of that is water, but it's not the point. You're no longer in a 5XL shirt, right? Remember that? We got those texts from Randon?
Yeah.
I'm in a large now.
He's in a large.
No, he's in a medium now, but from the 5XL into medium. I would say the majority people spend more money with us redoing their wardrobe than they do paying us, right? And the thing is like, I'm glad that this will actually be showed out and this goes on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that people can see it, because you always say, how did this person do this? How did this person do that? Because they're in those societies, right? The Rothschilds and the Vanderbilts, right? You'll never get access to them unless you're in that society. And this is the same thing when it comes to actual, I don't want to say weight loss. Weight loss to me is a byproduct of you changing your life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you lose 500 pounds or 5 pounds, but your body shifts mentally, your body transforms because now the fat is gone and muscle is there. So when people go, I'm on a weight loss plan and I've gained 4 pounds. Okay. But you're in a smaller waist size. Your shirts are now bigger. How did you gain weight? Maybe we put on muscle. It's possible. And then we'll do a DEXA scan or we'll do an in-body scan and they go, holy crap, I gained 4 pounds. That wasn't fat. Because the scale is a tool. It is not an end-all be-all. And I like to have people weigh themselves daily for accountability. Because if you are doing what you're supposed to do and you gained weight, you've seen the texts. How did you sleep last night? Horrible. Of course. You're not going to lose weight when your cortisol's through the roof. Right. So we have answers and we have tricks that I've put in. So people don't have an excuse. I got a guy, John Moore, for instance, was doing great. He was down like 10 pounds and now he's up 8 pounds this past week. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. I go, relax. How much medicine were you pouring down your face the last 2 weeks? A lot. You hold water. But let me ask you this. Are your clothes getting bigger? No, my clothes I'm losing. Yeah. Your body's transforming. Holding water is not fat gain. It's an inflammatory response based upon some external factor that happened. You got sick. Your body's going to inflame. And then you take Dayquil or any of these things, right? Which are, they hold water like no one's. It's what they do, right? You haven't slept, so your cortisol's high. But this is why the program is day by day, week by week, month by month. If you don't hit your protein numbers on Monday and you did your best, don't care. It's where you are at the end of the week. So if you have 1,000 grams, let's say, of protein that you need to hit by the end of the week, and life happens, because it happens, as long as we get to where we need to be at the end of the week, the results are always there.
100%. I've heard this before, and I know that you have too. When somebody says, when we like daily weigh-ins, people will say, "Oh, I got obsessed with the scale before it became unhealthy."
Yeah, you didn't have a coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's a you problem, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't want to weigh yourself, fine, I don't care. Then we'll go by your clothes, right? If you physically don't want to go on a scale because it's going to mess with your head, I don't need a scale to be successful. I already know the numbers.
Right.
I already know what's going to happen. I don't need you to weigh yourself. That's more of you, oh my God, I can't eat this tonight, because if I eat this tonight and I got to text Jonathan in the morning, it's going to be a bad number.
Right.
Right? I personally don't need you to weigh in. I don't. I'm controlling the numbers. So if you're eating 3,000 calories beforehand, and now we're eating 2,800 calories, but you're doing more physical activity. When I mean physical activity, I mean walking, right? But our clients will also want to get muscle too. So therefore we have to have some form of progressive overload, which is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a scale. If we're eating less and moving more, are you going to lose weight?
Of course.
Yes. If you're eating enough protein in there, are you going to lose any muscle? Hell no. Are you going to gain muscle? Yes. So if we have our body is getting plenty of protein, it's recovering from the damage that you're doing during physical training, and we're controlling your fuel sources with fats and carbs, and those are lower, are you going to lose fat?
100%.
Yes. So I don't care what the scale says. Are your clothes going to fit differently?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then don't weigh in. I don't care. Makes no difference to me. You want to weigh in every 5 months? Fine by me. We'll adjust to whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
And that's why I have the nutritional side and you have the mindset side. I don't do the mindset because I don't care. Whether you do it or not, I don't care. This is the yin and the yang. And you've talked me off the ledge of let's drop this guy, right? Because you know what they're going through on their weight loss journey.
Right.
I don't care what you're going through. I'm going to get you the results, which is probably wrong, but that's why it's a double duo.
Right.
And that's why when we can sense those text messages and you come to me, hey, I'll handle this. I don't even respond for like 3 days because I know they're going through something, which we've had.
Mm-hmm.
You deal with them because that's what you do. And then you text me, hey, I think they're back on track. And then I'll reach in. How's the food? How are we eating? Do we need to change anything? So it's a 100% give and take, which is why I don't want to have a gazillion clients, because majority of people are not ready to make that change.
Right.
And if you're not ready to make the change, we are the wrong guys for you. Go get your 30-day behind the magazine. Hey, I'll lose 10 pounds in a week, right? Quick tip, no carbs, saran wrap yourself, hop in a sauna, don't drink water. I'll get you 10 pounds in an hour and a half.
We've been on discovery calls and enrollment calls where guys have worked with other coaches that were in insane deficits, feeling mental fog, fats pulled.
And they're not losing weight. Right?
Yep. Inflamed as fuck.
They don't lose weight.
They're playing like, will it fit my macros?
You can eat whatever you want as long as it fits your macros. It's not true. It's not how it works. Right? But
that is one of the most common things right now that coaches are peddling.
That's why they don't successful long term.
Right.
Do you want immediate success? Do you want to make $1 million today?
Mm-hmm.
Real simple. You want to make $100? You want to make $1,000 today? Or do you want $100 every month? What are the majority of people going to say? Give me $1,000. But you could have had 1,200 if you just had the patience.
Right. Yeah. Like a common thing is like, gas station foods to fit your macros.
Yeah. All right. You want me to start on that?
Yeah, let's go.
Are these influencers?
Well, yeah, coaches.
I don't know what that is. It's not a coach. It's not an influencer. I can tell you exactly what it is. It's a 20-year-old to a 35-year-old who's grown up on social media, who found some following because they did something or someone liked their look, right? And they are saying, we're going to make it work for you. But they don't know how to make it work. How many calories are you doing? I don't know. Well, it's less than you were eating. Are you going to lose weight? Yeah, but we're not talking muscle, right? What if they have any type of ailments? Are they running blood? Probably not, right? And if they are, can they fix an ailment due to blood work? Probably not. They all read the same handbook. You know what that is? Let's just scroll through and find someone else's program. And then when it doesn't work, I'm going to hire someone to actually help me behind the scenes to do it. Mm-hmm. You know who that guys they hire? You're talking to them. Because several of those coaches have reached out to me. My client just isn't losing weight. I don't understand. Well, what are you doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. They're giving me a lot of money. And I'm just kind of, they like my look. And they like, I don't know, they were eating Taco Bell. Let's just give them chicken, right? Let's give them chicken and white rice, right? Well, what if they have the MTHR deficiency where they can't break down folic acid, which is in white rice, right? Well, what's that? Oh, well, now we're talking in a place you need to step aside. And This is the problem with the industry, which is why I hate the industry. But I love helping the people because it's not all about money. If you're good at what you do, you're going to make money.
Right.
People will seek you out. You got guys like, what's his name? Gunnar Peterson, right? Who's been doing this for years. And he was a personal trainer who became the Lakers strength and conditioning coach, the Kardashians and all that. Does he know things that other people don't know? No. He's just been doing it and has proof of concept. And then he had one client, I don't know who it is, but he had one client. We'll use Tim Grover. Is Tim Grover the best trainer of all time? He's very good, but he had one client, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Ever heard of him? Right? And he took Michael from here to here. Did he teach him how to play basketball? No. He taught him how to lift weights to get stronger to where he could compete against your Detroit Pistons back in the 80s and early 90s, right? So he can take that beating. He's the one that allowed Michael to consistently do that. He taught him how to eat. It had nothing to do with basketball. He made him a better person to where basketball was easier because now he was stronger. And then his business took off. And now he's making gazillions of dollars, speeches and all these things. But we read the same books. He just has more proof of concept at that level. Right? And then when you're at that level, you ain't never going to come down because people trust you. And that's the biggest thing. If you hire a coach, this is what I'd like to know. If there's 10 people out there and they hired a coach, how many of them actually trust their coach with their life? Honestly. One? Right?
Yeah.
You could call any one of our clients and they will say, oh yeah, 100%.
Yep.
How many times have people texted me or you with the menu to a place they're going with their wife for dinner?
Yeah. Sometimes at dinner.
At dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
My normal answer will be, you're there for your anniversary, correct? You know what to do. Go enjoy yourself. Are they going to eat that whole piece of cake for the wife for the anniversary? Probably not. They'll have a bite, as they should. And they're going to get the steak? Probably. Are they going to get it with the gravy they normally would? No. Are they going to get it with lobster mac and cheese like they normally would? No. Will they get it with a baked potato? Yeah. It's real food. Mm-hmm. That's okay. So they're making better choices and still living their life. And you don't have to be deprived of anything.
Yeah.
If you want to eat something, and this is what I actually enjoy. I would like for you to fall back one day and eat the stuff you used to eat. And then tell me how good you feel in the next 45 minutes to 2 days. Like trash. Because that's what you're putting into your body. Right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our 30 days are up. Sorry, thank you for your money. And that's what you get with the majority of your coaches.
I think another huge benefit is taking the thinking out of it. It's so funny because I'll talk to, our clients and I know their numbers better than I know my numbers. And the reason is because I don't think.
Correct.
I'm told what to eat. I'm told what to put in my body, and I don't have to think about it. That level of precision and direction in conjunction with the level of accountability allows me to not have to think at all. I just consume.
But you're eating boiled chicken and broccoli every day, right?
No.
What are you eating?
Steak.
Everything that you want.
Everything I love.
Yeah.
I've even come to you and been like, you're like, we'll make adjustments. I'm like, all right. I love my meals. One huge thing too, and it's like, these things that we come up with and that you have shown me is like, I used to always have my avocado first thing in the morning with my post-workout meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you that I was having trouble staying asleep. You said switch the avocado. So I took the avocado from meal 1 and I put it at meal 4.
Mm-hmm.
Slept all the way through the night.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do that every single night. Once we get done with this podcast, I'm going to have my next meal with my full avocado.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight I will sleep all the way through the night. And that'll mark like 9 months of sleeping all the way through the night, every single night since we made that one simple switch.
Yeah.
I don't need sleep medicine. I don't need melatonin. I don't need just, whatever. I need fat.
Well, what do people snack on at night mostly?
Fatty foods.
Or like carbohydrates mostly.
Yeah.
You're going to eat popcorn. You're going to eat chips.
Right.
Or you're going to have ice cream, right? You're going to create glucose into the body, which is broken down carbohydrates or sugar you're getting from ice cream. What is the purpose of carbohydrates?
Energy.
Fuel.
Right.
That's why you can't sleep. It's not that you can't have pasta before bed, right? But why would you fill up your RV and go on a cruise for 3 months? It makes no sense. You have poor sleep because you've told your body we are fueling it to go do something and not to bed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that you can't have your foods that you want, because when you work with us, we get the foods that you like. So we've never had a complaint, I don't like the foods, because you chose them. We're just telling you how much and where to eat them based upon your activity level. That's it. You don't have to lift weights. You can do push-ups. You can do air squats. You can do pull-ups. You can do lunges. You can do everything at your house. And the reason you lift weights is to keep muscles functioning. That's it. Why do you lift 300 pounds versus 5 pounds? Because you're trying to elicit a stress response and then nutrition and rest to heal that response, because you have a goal of putting on size. But if you just want to rip up like Brad Pitt in Fight Club, you know how much heavy lifting Brad Pitt was doing in Fight Club? Probably not a lot. Was he lifting weights? 100%. But he was probably doing plyometrics. He was probably doing high rep stuff, high superset stuff, enough to work the muscle, enough to fatigue the muscle. But his whole job was to strip body fat and then show off the muscle that he had. Right? I'm a big Tarzan guy. Huge Tarzan guy. I've seen everyone made, from Buster Crabbe and Johnny Weissmuller and the 40s and 50s Olympic swimmers, up to the Scarsdale, the Swedish or Norwegian cat, right? And have you seen his diet?
No.
Boiled chicken and broccoli is what he ate for 6 months for that film. And he says he was miserable. He looked great, but how about eating the foods that you want and look even better?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's for a movie role. We're doing life. We are doing life. We're saving your life, teaching you how to eat, teaching you how to think about food, right? Now, I hope this resonates. This is not an online coaching service. We do it online. But does this sound like what you normally get in an online? Hell no.
Mm-mm.
Which is why people, when they'll say, oh, you do this, you do that, you have no clue as to the level of accountability, caring, and actual knowledge of what you're going to get. And when we've had calls on your coaching calls, and I brought this up to you, on some of the coaches, and they're talking about certain things, and I'm like, look, man, they shouldn't be helping people because it cheapens what we do.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
And that's what, yeah, I mean, and it's always a thing that we have to correct. And, yeah, it's always a wake up call.
But I hope the biggest thing is, and something that you preach, I hope this comes off as very authentic, because this is what we do, right?
Yeah.
It's what we do, whether it be to ourselves or our clients. This is how we live our life. And we know parties are going to happen. We know holidays are going to happen, and we know life is going to happen. And before Christmas gets here and Thanksgiving gets here, we have those talks. When's family coming in town? Okay, well, let's switch the nutrition because we know we're going to eat more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to lie to me. We know you're going to eat more. Are you going to have pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving? I hate pumpkin, but people eat pumpkin pie, right? We know you're going to do that. Okay, well, we're going to adjust for that. But what are we always going to do after that pumpkin pie? You're always going to go on a 10-minute walk because it's family time, right? Take the entire family around the block, 10 minutes. And if 10 minutes is too much, then go 5 minutes. But if you want to come home, give me another 5 minutes back. It's 10 minutes. And what it does to blood sugar, what it does to that pumpkin pie in your body is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little simple 10-minute walk, post a carbohydrate meal. That's the freebie I'm going to give out on this, right? Is amazing to what it'll do to your body. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be in a caloric deficit food-wise. I try to give our clients as much food as physically possible. We just create their activity levels needs to be more. And when you tell me you can't go to the gym that day or whatever, right? Let me ask you this. How many diet plans do you have? 1 or 2?
Me? Yeah. I have
a 5. Training day?
Yeah, I mean, I've really 5.
But you have a training day, and we have them spaced out per what you're training. That's a special one. And you have an off training day.
Right.
So there's going to be...
That's me. Yeah, I have a number.
Yours is different. Yours is specialized. But you have an off training day plan because chances are you're not going to be as physically active. But let's say you're even more physically active because you're not at work. So you're with your kids or you're going on a 20-mile, 200-mile bike ride, right? Then we're going to take that weekend that people usually add calories and gain weight and then try to get it back on the 5 days. We're accelerating the process because you took the 2 days that normally people take off and ramped it up. And when you're able to ramp it up, guess what? Your results come quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to a certain point, you're like, I want more.
Right.
What else can we do? That's what you did. Mm-hmm. You were 270 pounds with abs and veins coming out everywhere. And you said, okay, can you get me down? I think with confidence, I told you yes. And we got you to 237 pounds, right? With obliques in the mirror without even twisting, right? Because you followed the plan. Mm-hmm. And when you had questions, a lot of questions, at 3:30 in the morning, you got an answer by 3:31 normally.
Yep.
And that it just doesn't exist. You know, I can talk about this for hours and days, and because I'm passionate about it and because I've been doing it for so long in a store, dealing with people every single day, that this is a service that show me one that exists other than what we do. I don't know that it exists.
Talked to thousands of coaches.
You know,
I've never seen anyone.
I've never seen it.
And I think that's how we kind of came up with this whole thing.
Well, that's why we're still doing it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I said that earlier. I said, and this is, understanding that, you guys need, I provide resources. I provide strategies. I help other coaches do what I do and do what Jonathan and I do. And the only reason I can do that is because I do it successfully. And if you guys are listening to this as coaches, understand that the reason I can speak to this is because I take direction from somebody. I give direction to people that want to achieve the physiques, the mindsets, the sobriety, and I show people how to do this the right way. Now, whether you take what I teach, whether you copy what Jonathan and I do, if you can have the capacity to do so, that's on you.
But here's the cool thing. Can you give me we'll go fitness influencer who does diets that people know about, that's been doing it consistently for 2 years? Can you give me a name?
I mean, other than big, like
just any name. Yeah. Any name. Can you give me any name?
Yeah, I mean, Jay.
Jay who?
Perugia.
Okay. Big name.
Yeah.
A lot of people know him. No one's ever heard of me and you doing this. And we've been doing it for multiple years.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to be some well-named big guy to be successful in this industry.
No.
Yeah. If you can produce results.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you from the very beginning, you're the face of it. People don't need to know I exist. What you need to know is you're going to get results.
Yep.
And we've produced over and over and over again results for people who actually want to do it. If you don't want to do it and you're not ready to do it, then you're not for us.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Instagram, take your pick, because they'll be more than happy to take your money.
Yep.
And I say this as a 52-year-old who's been in the industry for darn near 30 years. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Right? I don't care about making a name for myself. I'm still in the industry for almost 30 years. Something is going right.
Yep.
Right? And people have never heard of me and your coaching business as far as the weight loss success that we've had. And we've been doing it for multiple years.
Yep.
You don't have to be well known to be successful.
Nope. I love this.
That's what you got to understand. Like, I don't care if people know who you are. Right?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we got to do this.
Me too.
Guys, if you like what you heard, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. And, if you are looking for coaches, you're actually committed to doing this and doing this the right way, you can hit me up in the DMs on my Instagram channel at Justin Wenzel. And we'll look forward to catching you guys next time on the Justin Wenzel podcast. We're out.